Bitcoin is down 3% and the entire market is freaking out. The S&P 500 down about 2 to 3% as well. What is happening? Today we got all the info for you. We're 5 days away from a US presidential election, and this is what you need to know. First and foremost, if you're freaking out about Bitcoin being down 3% over the last day, well, let me remind you that if you go to a 7-day chart, it is up 3%. If you go to a monthly chart, it's up about 15.5%. And if you even go up as much as a year, it is up 100%. And if you go to an all-time chart, you cannot tell me that this chart looks bearish. If we want to look at, the Bitcoin chart here, this is what we've seen over the last few months. Go to a weekly chart, pull this up. What do we see? We see that we are still, we've broken out of this 6-7 month downward channel. We've had confirmation here. We did not reach a new all-time high, but we're consolidating around $70,000. And my opinion right now is that there's a lot of volatility in the market with the US presidential elections being just 5 days away. So in my opinion, what I am doing with my positions, I am just chilling. I'm absolutely chilling. Altcoins are getting destroyed as Bitcoin has fallen over the last day or so. But this is, again, a time to understand the markets and understand that when we get past this US elections, what's going to happen next is that the Fed is going to continue cutting rates. That's bullish for the short term. It's bullish for global liquidity, and it is ultimately bullish for the S&P 500, the stock market, as well as the crypto markets. And we've seen this time and time again. Let me pull up this chart yet again. We see that back in 2020, yes, there was a black swan event. COVID-19 happened. But when the Fed cut the rates, what happens here is that it pushes up liquidity in the markets. And typically, this is a good thing for the stock market as well as the crypto market. So this is going to continue happening after the US presidential elections. Now, something else, if you're looking at volatility, this is what I mean with volatility coming back to the market. Taking a look at the VIX, this is basically the index that shows the volatility in the S&P 500. As we can see over the last little while here, we have just gone up for this index. So this means that volatility is, climbing back up as we are getting closer to the US presidential election. And if we go back to 2020, we know we had the US presidential election in November of 2020. I think it was November 3rd. And if we go to that specific date, just to show you exactly what happened to the VIX here, leading up to the election, this is, a week prior on October 22 in 2020, the VIX went from about, 28 all the way to 40 as we were getting into the US presidential elections between Biden and Trump. So this is basically what happened after the election. The VIX went all the way back down. And a week after, we had the resumption of stock markets doing quite well, and as well as the cryptocurrency markets doing well. So something else that is likely causing fear in the market is as we're seeing a Bitcoin, come down to 3% over one day, and altcoins getting absolutely slapped. Well, of course, people are de-risking. If we take a look at Virtual Bacon's, tweet here, I absolutely recommend following him on Twitter, on, YouTube, a very good influencer here. And he had a whole tweet about what would happen to, the markets if Kamala gets elected or if Trump gets elected. As we all know, if Trump is elected, it is likely more bullish for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. If Kamala is elected, her stance on, cryptocurrencies is, of course, a little more tight. There might be more regulations surrounding cryptocurrencies, but again, nobody really knows up until that point happens. But of course, this goes into the speculation, adds to the volatility, and obviously adds to the de-risking that some people are doing before a US election. And he also says that in the last 2 election cycles, Bitcoin resumed its rally just 1 week after the election. Hold your positions and chill for 2 weeks. And I couldn't agree more with that. That is exactly what I'm doing. And even looking to dollar cost average in some of these altcoins that are getting crapped on, just because, I believe that we are going to have, a very bullish end to this year. and into 2021 as a result. Now, in other news, if we take a look at the Bitcoin ETF inflows, it's been absolutely crazy to see the amount of money that's going into these ETFs over the last few days. We've had record-breaking numbers here. Just on October 30th, we had about $900 million come into Bitcoin ETFs. The day before, $870 million. It's absolutely insane to think that, Bitcoin is not going to be a vehicle for investments in the future. It is right now in the present, and I think it's just going to continue. And ultimately, you have to remember that, of course, we're seeing Bitcoins down 3%, but you're probably not even holding Bitcoin. You're holding all of your altcoins, and you're wondering just, Eric, why am I, down 15% on a coin just over the day today? Well, this is because when the Bitcoin dominance continues to go up and the price of Bitcoin goes down, well, altcoins get absolutely wrecked. So you have to follow this cheat sheet. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you guys. So if we take a look at this is exactly what's currently happening right now with the Bitcoin dominance. We have the BTC dominance continuing to go up. We have the price of Bitcoin going down. What's happening to our altcoins is that they are getting killed. And if we go take a look at the BTC dominance, this is exactly what's happening. We obviously see, just a massive uptrend for the Bitcoin dominance. It's at 60.2%. What's happening to the price of Bitcoin? It is going down. And as we just looked at, when you have those two factors happening, well, what do we have happen to altcoins? They are all going down. And this is exactly what we're seeing. If we take a look at the total 3 chart, we are seeing, a big depreciation, about 3% of the total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, going down over the day today. But again, going over the weekly candles, you can see that we've kind of just been in this range for the better part of the last month and a half, and nothing really has changed. So for me, as we are continuing through, these next couple of weeks, nothing is changing for my positions. I'm looking to even dollar cost average in some of the top, narratives, whether that's AI, gaming, meme coins, RWA deepen, looking at specific coins that are maybe even leading on the way down for no particular reason, just the simple fact that there's volatility in the market and that Bitcoin is going down. That in itself, in my opinion, is a good buying opportunity on some of these dips. But of course, that is not financial advice. And taking a look at just what Q4 has historically brought in bull market years, we have 2017 at 215%, as well as 2020 with 168%. So I don't think this time around it's going to be different. I do expect some big things towards the end of, November into December and into the new year. And last but not least, the way money moves in crypto is very important because you obviously have Bitcoin at the top, then Ethereum, then large caps, and then you have your smaller caps, which, bring on alt season. And if we take a look at what happened in the last cycle when 2021 occurred, well, taking a look at the Bitcoin dominant cycle, and of course, look at the cheat sheet we were talking about with the Bitcoin dominant cycle. As we have the Bitcoin dominance going down and the price of Bitcoin going up, that is when altcoin season happens, and we saw it in Q1 of 2021. And the last time that this happened, which is super evident on the Bitcoin dominance chart, is in Q1 of 2021. We see a massive, downfall of the Bitcoin dominance, and that is when altcoins went absolutely crazy. Let me bring you on to this chart. Q1 2021 for altcoins. It brings us all the way back to, this cycle here, all the way down when this total 3 chart was at 140 billion. And over Q1, it literally went all the way to roughly right over here, which is 450 billion. It did a 3x in terms of the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So understand that, but right now there's a lot of volatility. Stay safe out there. Don't over leverage yourself because there's absolutely no point. And with that being said, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, smash the like button. Hopefully my voice is going to be back anytime soon. But like I said, the grind continues, and we are here for the markets. The markets don't sleep, and we're not sleeping. So if you want more information, join the Discord. We have a VIP one and a free Discord. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.